Welcome to Politics Done Right. My name is Egberto, Willies, your host. Good morning, Houston. Good morning, Harris County. Good morning to the great state of Texas. Good morning to Northeast Texas, Southeast Texas, Northwest Louisiana, Southwest Louisiana, and to every nook and cranny receiving the signals from our 100,000 watt transmitters into those magical boxes known as radios, aka the Howard Reynolds machines. Good morning to the rest of the world, receiving our signals through the magic of the internet created by you, we the people. The federal government grants under the auspices of something called the ARPANET, now mostly controlled by billionaires, but something we must take back. We the people created it. We the people own it. Anyway, before we have any further ado, let's move on to the geniuses, los genios in the studio. Buenos dias, mis amigos favoritos. How you doing, my brothers?
Give me that internet, man. Give it back. You talk about, me being in love with radios. I do. I love radios. I love working in radio stations. I love everything about radio. Well, not everything, but mostly everything about radio, because it's an imaginative medium. What I used to do was listen to radio theater of the mind. And oh my goodness, I just love that. I wanted to be a radio actor when I was a kid. I used to scan across the dial at night and listen to radio theater. And I just wanted to be a radio actor. And I've had a few chances to do some in commercials, believe it or not. So, man,
did anybody tell you that you're already a radio actor, man?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you're doing it right now.
I'm acting about.
Yeah, you're doing it right now, man.
Yeah. Hey, it looks like Jack has a half page of wisdom here. So, without further ado, let's hijack his show. Jack, what do you think?
Well, I would, but I kind of wrote it to his post this morning. So,
wow,
it gives y'all the post that he did this morning. Worded a little different, of course. Okay.
Wait. It's worded the Jack Van Bibbo way.
Yes, this is my news voice, I guess.
And now,
Fox News caught red-handed deceiving its audience to clean up after 3-year-old Trump. John Deere calls out Trump for lying about the company expanding in Mexico. Trump proposes tariffs that will kill the U.S. economy, and media gives him a pass as they question Kamala for more details on her policies. Is Trump more trouble than he's worth? He can't remember which lies he told to which group he's lying to work his grift on.
Yeah. Well, I'm just not going to comment on that because I would have nothing to say about, Trump's lies and all the rest of it and how anyone can support this man. But, that's a whole nother story.
Oh, man. Anyway, folks, look, we're going to have a great show for you today. Yes, it's Fun Drive, but we're still giving you a full show. But this morning, as I was kind of reading up on some of the news, I turned on the news and I saw a commercial ad for Medicare again. Look, let me be very, very clear. There are folks who take Medicare Advantage because they have to. There are folks who've taken Medicare Advantage because at the time they were presented with a good plan. And I'm not saying they're not good Medicare Advantage plans. There are, but do remember that all these plans are transient. They are temporary for 1 year. Ask yourself a very important question. If you don't take traditional, original Medicare, why, and you chose a plan that you like that is working perfectly for you, why is it that every single year you have to re-up your plan, right? With the original Medicare, you sign up for Medicare to let Uncle Sam know you're 65 older and now you are on Medicare. That's original Medicare. When you sign for that, you're done. Finito, terminado. You never have to do anything again. At that point, the government says, we'll be paying 80% of all your bills, your medical bills. And if you happen to get Part D and what's called a Medigap program, that private insurance covers the other 20%. If you don't get a Medigap, you are responsible for the 20%. And a dirty little secret is a lot of doctors understanding that most are in dire straits. They won't bug, they'll keep that 20% on the books, but they won't bug you about it. And the other thing again is that we're getting a law passed that will prevent medical debt to appear on your credit report. And let me tell you something, I don't even feel guilty about telling you that because our healthcare is overpriced by more than 20%. So that's what it's be. Now here's the thing. Medicare Advantage, you have to re-up every year because that good plan that you have today, next year, if they didn't make a profit in that plan, they could either change it, transition it, or end it. So you are every year having to hope that the plan that you are in is good. And if you're in a good plan today, remember something else. A lot of people are going to want to be in that good plan. And eventually, all the people in these plans get sick and sicker as we age, which means by definition, unless you die, that plan over time will eventually start losing money. It's a Ponzi scheme of economics. All right. So those are statements of fact that I just gave you that you can figure out. Why am I saying this now? I'm watching TV and I see this commercial comes on. And they all know that there's a lot of us out here now really talking about original Medicare and to stick with original Medicare. And these guys who write ads, they know psychology very well. They know that we are out here talking to you about if you can stay on original Medicare, meaning not private insurance, but original Medicare. So they make sure to now put those words in their ads. They never used to. They used to make you believe that Medicare Advantage is Medicare. Medicare Advantage is private health care that is paid for with your particular original Medicare dollars plus about 20% more. In other words, the government gives these private companies an extra bit of money. No, I digress. So the new ads that are coming out now says, hey, when you become 65, you qualify for original Medicare, and original Medicare is good. Then they pause and they say, but if you want additional benefits, go to Medicare Advantage. Now, if they were honest, they would say Medicare original Medicare is good, but if you want additional benefits, get Medigap with hearing, eyes, and dental, right? Because you would keep your original Medicare and you'll pay a little bit extra for your Medigap. And a lot of Medigap plans also include Medigap, ears, eyes, and teeth, and drugs. All right? Now, they also want you to transition completely to Medicare Advantage. If you remember what Jack Van Bebba said yesterday or 2 days ago, he was driving to KPFT and he sees these big signs that says Medicare Advantage, 0 payments. In other words, you just sign up for it. You don't have to worry about any money out of your pocket for premiums. And they make sure to say premiums because there's a lot of other charges that are going to be there. And for those 0 ones also, they generally want you to go to a specific set of doctors, a specific set of medicines that you can take, etc. That's how it functions. They determine, the slave master determines what kind of health care you are going to get. The program isn't about this today, but this ad told me that I needed to start the program this way. Now, let me be very honest and frank. The way it's set up, it's biased against you. And even our government, because of who we elected, did this to us all. They make it very attractive in the front end to get Medicare Advantage, because it's about you can start it, and when you start it, they handle everything. They tell you where to go, what you can take, everything. And some people do like authoritarianism. They tell you what to do. And if for some reason they don't want to treat a cancer, if they don't want to treat something, they tell you, we just won't do it. It's not in your plan. If you want it, you pay for it out of pocket. Otherwise, bottom line is this, folks. There are some people that have no alternative other than to take Medicare Advantage. And that's just the unfairness of our healthcare system. Some people just don't have what its Medigap is going to cost, and if they want to get that 20% drugs and other things, that's what they have to do. Others think they're getting a good deal because they found a good Medicare Advantage plan that works out perfectly for them for that particular year. But if you're looking for insurance and by the way, another thing, when you have Medicare Advantage, if you try to get back to traditional Medicare after you get sick, you have to go through the process again. I don't remember what the authorization process is. And it could be that your Medigap is completely unaffordable. So it's a decision when you make it up front that would follow you for life. And specifically, if you get sick and try to transition back to Medicare Advantage, our government, because of the bribes they take from the health insurance industry, makes it very, very difficult to move to it. So I'm just telling you, this is a period where there's this new sign up for Medicare. For all of you who are transitioning to 65 years old, look at all these features, open eyes, and whenever if you listen to me and decide that you're going to stick with original Medicare, which is what I am not a healthcare person, but this is an advice that I can give you 100% feeling, 100% sure about what I'm saying. If you decide that you want original Medicare, even after deciding that, these salespeople are very deceptive in having you sign up for Medicare Advantage anyway, and lying to you and making you believe what you've signed up for is original Medicare. You have to be sure to tell them you're going to tape them. Is this original Medicare and not Medicare Advantage? And take your cell phone out and tape their answer, so that if you find out later on something is wrong, say this was done fraudulently, and we report it to the insurance commission in Texas or the insurance commission wherever you are. But don't allow these charlatanes, these hooligans, these Trump-like lying folks to let you make a decision that will affect you negatively for the rest of your life. This is advice, folks, that you can verify, and please do as well. You can verify everything that I've just said. You don't have to take what I've said blindly. But my goal here is for us to make the right choice. All right, let's go to Brother Johnny. Come on in, Johnny. Thank you for holding.
Wow, Sandy, you're right up there with Dwayne. Mouse in the house.
Hey, yeah, wait, Johnny. I was going to say it, and while he said that, I'm like, Dwayne, and I forgot to say it. Go ahead, Johnny.
Watch out, Dwayne. You got another poet laureate on your heels. Okay, so those heinous, hooligan, evil geniuses, I'm not referring to the crew at KPFT. I'm talking about those mukes who populate the hedge fund community. They're not just limited to that. We got this reality called taking away our public education system by way of hedge funds. And, that's a new revelation to me. I discovered that listening to Arnie Arneson this morning. But I never made that connection, thanks to her and KPFT, by the way. So, you and I have criticized charter schools and Teach for America and the voucher system as a way to subtract money out of the public school system and privatize it to eliminate public schools, right? Well, listening to Arnie Arneson this morning, the second half of her show was very eye-opening, and I would urge our fellow time travelers who normally don't wake up that early to, when they get home from work today, to remind themselves to go to the KPFT archive, which is a great resource unto itself, and look at today's edition of Arnie Arneson's The Attitude. It's at the 5 o'clock hour, 5 a.m. hour. That's when it's broadcast and when you can find it on the archive. Excellent discussion this morning, and that's all I'll say about that. But before I hang up, it reminded me of this idea of the billionaire. You know, Bernie has talked about how the idea of a billionaire is ridiculous, and I agree. The simple fact is you can just do a little quick math. If you take your calculator, you divide $1 billion by $1 million. So in other words, if you have a salary of $1 million a year, it would take you 1,000 years to spend $1 billion. Well, let's say you were generous. Let's say $2 million. Let's say some of the wealthier people, we allow them a $2 million salary. 500 years to spend $1 billion. Billionaires are an unnecessary extravagance. We need to figure out how to reallocate these monies to benefit society and do away with this heinous geniuses called hedge fund operators, which, by the way, they're on both sides of the aisle. I've said it before. Mitt Romney on the right and the Clintons on the left, so-called left.
No,
So,
let me interrupt you, Johnny, because Johnny, let me interrupt you. And the reason why is that you just kind of just hit that nerve. And I'm glad that you put the numbers in. And by the way, welcome to Alice Aaron Dreams in Houston, as well as Eric Hayes in Kingwood, Atascocita. Actually, Alice Aaron is in on. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about billionaires 1 quick second. And I'm glad that you put it. If a person made $1 million every single year, which is a lot of money, if they made $1 million, it takes them 1,000 years to get $1 billion. Elon Musk has, I think, over $200 billion or something like that. Okay, so it would take him. So it would take you 200,000 years to raise that. Look, nobody has. And this is where we talk about the billionaire is nothing more than a defect in the economic system, because that is money. And when I say that, I don't say that. I say that meaning it. It's a defective economic system. If one person can accumulate $1 billion, because nobody has created that. No one person has created that worth. That $1 billion is the payment for the work denied by all of those that built that $1 billion. As an example, when Elon Musk has all those orbiting satellites, Starlink, when he has SpaceX and all those things, all those people that build those products and build those systems, and all the people who created the knowledge base that allowed those systems to be built. In other words, Starlink is based on knowing triangulation in the sky. Well, all of that knowledge came from many different people, hundreds of years in the making. And the person who then monopolizes on it is Musk. We have an economic system that can concentrate the work and worth of millions of people into one person. That's a defective economic system. And you have been told or made to believe that there's something smart about those who are able to centralize and accumulate that money. There isn't anything smart about it. It is just legalized theft. It's a designed defective economic system that justify legalizing the theft of the intellect of everybody else, including yours. AI is stealing your intellect. All right, Johnny, let me go to Harry, unless you have a quickie, 10 seconds.
One closing comment. So ironically, to dovetail what you just said, ironically, on the debate stage, with Donald Trump of all people, hedge fund bunny Hillary Clinton in her corporate blue in her royal blue corporate pantsuit, she admitted on national TV that from time to time we have to rescue our version of capitalism with socialism. Hello.
She did say that. I don't know if she actually used the word socialism, but she did say that. But thank you very much, Johnny. Let's go to Harry. And before I go to Harry, though, I need to do a quick pitch because time is going. We're halfway through this thing, or a little less than halfway through this thing. Folks, I only have one contributor right now. Let me ask you kindly, 713-526-5738, extension number 1 to donate. Please do so now so that we can get with this program and stop interrupting this program. I would love if you would give a call, 713-526-5738, extension number 1. I want to give a big, humongous thank you to Ingrid. Thank you so kindly, my dear sister, who became a sustainer as well. I want to thank you so kindly. Folks, we need about at least 4 more sustainers, 713-526-5738, extension number 1 to donate, or go to kpft.org. Please be sure to select Politics Done Right as the program you are supporting. Harry and Patrick, I'm coming to you, but I need to give Sandy some time here to do a quick pitch with other things that we have to offer. Brother Sandy.
Thank you, Egberto. And, thank you to Ingrid, who just joined in as a sustainer. And again, everyone that does that, $5, $10, $20, $25 a month, it's going to lessen the burden on future fund drives, make it easier for our volunteers, like Egberto, like myself, like Jack down there. It's going to make the burden of reaching these goals and funding this little old community station that much easier. So please, if you're going to call, consider joining as a sustainer. And Ingrid, your pledge was matched with a $50 bill. So just like that, it's that easy. Okay, so our fund drive this time around is called the Need to Feast. The Need to Feast. And with that comes some feasts that we hope that you will join in with us on. And on November 13th, we're going to be at the Cadillac Bar and Grill. It's on 1802 Shepherd, and we're going to have a fajita dinner. And there are 200 seats available. This is from 7 to 10 p.m. We hope that you can join in. And of one plate, you want to go, it's $120, $10 a month. If you want to take along someone else, a pair of you can go for $200. The second part of this is the Cruise 2, and we're in negotiation with the likes of R&R and others to host that cruise. And we're going to have another good time as we did when we went out with Nuri. This one is on Pearl Harbor Day, December 7th. We're going to take a cruise. I don't know if we're going to serve kamikazes as suggested or not, but there will be food and drink and music and lots of laughter and your fellow KPFT listeners on board as we zoom around Clear Lake for 3 hours. $150 will get you on board for one pair of tickets, $275. Again, food, drink, and a 3-hour cruise. The final leg of our 3-legged stool on the Need to Feast is a brunch at Under the Volcano. That's going to be held on January 12th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's in the Village at 2349 Bissonnet Street. Like the fajita dinner, $120 for one, $200 for two. If you want to go to all 3 events, $1 a day pledge, $365 will get you into all 3. If there are 2 of you going to all 3, it's a $600 pledge. You can do that $50 a month. That's great with us. And if you want to do that as a sustainer, even better, because there's a bonus $50 for every new sustainer signing up. So fajita dinner, blues cruise, and brunch, hey, they're all on the table in our Need to Feast fund drive. Let's all share in a meal, have a good time, a little laughter, a few smiles. Maybe if R&R there, then Ronnie will entertain you with jokes. He's good with jokes. Ask him when you see him. 713-526-5738, option 1, or kpft.org. If you don't have a mouse in the house, go next door. I bet they got one there. Use that. 713-526-5738, option 1, or kpft.org. And Dwayne, you're safe. I won't Petro the Metro. Back to you.
You won't Petro the Metro with the mouse and the what was the mouse and something? Anyway, Alisarian Dreams from Summerwood says, questions: are the bricks still available to purchase to go towards a fund drive? Yes, the bricks are still available. $25 a month for a 20 by 4 by 8.
4 by 8.
4 by 4. No, it's a 4 by 8. 4 by 8 for the for $25 a month, or the 8 by 8.
4 lines of 26 or 27 characters to write your limerick.
Yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about it, Sandy? You
Sure. Sorry to step on you, Egberto. Yeah,
no problem.
There are two size bricks. There's a 4 by 8 and a larger 8 by 8 brick. We have a whole brick garden growing out front of our building, and I appreciate all those people that have stepped up. And some of those inscriptions are it's just fun to sit there and kind of read over some of those. Some of those are remembering folks like Ray Hill or Larry Winters. Others have written some pretty funny things on their brick. I had one gentleman tell me that he was going to write, "You've waited your whole life to read my brick." Well, here it is. Things of that nature. We have some very creative people in our midst. $25 for the 4 by 8 brick, $50 for the 8 by 8 brick, 4 lines of 26 or characters on the small brick, and 8 lines on the larger brick. Plenty of room for you to write chapter 1 of your novel. 713-526-5738, option 1 for kpft.org. Egberto.
Absolutely, folks. So please give us a call. We are, again, this is a good investment for what the value that we're giving you, not only in news, opinion, and solid opinion, but also the great music that's out there. Sandy has his own show that he plays on Saturday. We also have brother Howard Reynolds. Well, Howard Reynolds now has a whole damn station on HD3, right? Right, Senor Reynolds, where you were doing some new kinds of country music and all that good stuff. Okay.
Oh, it's classic country. It's classic country. Yeah, it's, folks like Ray Price that you don't hear anymore, Charlie Pride. We got a lot of that going on, and I'm having trouble with my headphones here. Okay, finally got them on. HD3 Classic Country Station is serving a community that has not been served. We have a classic country station in town called Country Legends, but they don't go back far enough. You don't hear Charlie Rich on there. You don't hear Charlie Pride on there. We've got a whole lot of artists that folks love, but they can't hear. So it's kind of a cool thing. I'd like to invite anybody to tune in. HD3. Once you get to KPFT and you've got an HD radio, you just tune it over 2 more notches, and you got it. And you can listen
on the chat. On the chat, Eric Hayes wants to know if you also play Patsy Cline and Tanya Tucker.
Oh, yeah, you bet.
There you go,
Patsy
Eric.
Cline, one of our big stars. So tune in.
All right, folks, look, as you can see, we are multidimensional. We're on the videos that you guys can type in. You're on the chat. And we have callers like Brother Harry, which we're going to bring in right this minute. Hey, Harry, sorry for having you waiting so long, but we're in Fun Drive, man. Talk to me as quick as you can, brother.
I understand. All KPFT listeners, get out there and donate to keep KPFT going. The same thing's going on with NPR right now. They're still in Fun Drive. Got to keep stations like that going. And I'll donate as I usually do to KPFT. The Mayor of Politics is done right. I listen to Arnie Arneson. I mainly concentrated on the second half hour. There's an author that's writing about this hedge fund managers, and Arnie was asking to explain what the hedge fund managers do, and he mentioned George Soros and how they bet on stocks to go up and all that. And he went on. Arnie was talking about how it can be a scam. You got to be careful with those kinds of things. But yeah, just go into the archives and listen to Arnie Arneson. Howard Reynolds usually mentions it. Arnie Arneson is very all right,
Brother Harry, come to the point, because we got some other people that I got to get to. Sir.
The main reason I call this the show Reveal. NPR comes on at 2:00. You can on Saturdays, if you have time to look at it, listen to it live, you can download it. They're talking about Black MAGA, is why black people are going to vote for that grifter Donald Trump. And they gave a bit of a teaser. There was a black woman that they interviewed. She said, I don't care what the media, and I thought about Egberto Willis and other media sources. I don't care what the media says about you, Donald Trump. I'll vote for you anyway. And Dr. John mentions this on his show with Mike, Blacks Under 50. And I just think they're being taken for suckers. They're ignorant. They don't understand what Donald Trump is about, but it's a good thing to listen to that to try to understand why black people are being taken by Donald Trump. So the show's called Reveal. Comes on Saturdays at 2:00. You can download that podcast on NPR.
Thank you very much, Harry. I want to address some of that real quickly because I mean, let me just say this. What Harry says, why would black people vote for Donald Trump? I could also say, why would any Latino vote for, or I should say Latino presenting as we think of what Latinos look like in presenting person, vote for Donald Trump when his folks are probably going to just see how you look and round you up and throw you in a concentration camp. Or I could say, why would white women support Donald Trump? Because Donald Trump has taken away the dignity from their bodies, taken away their agencies from their bodies. Why would any Muslim vote for Donald Trump? Because we can we can do that exercise as far as why would any I do mentally as well in my head, right? Why would all these different people? But there is something that somehow tags people. Why would black people vote for Donald Trump? My thing is the same blame that I give, the same thing that go on mentally in a black person goes on mentally in that white woman, goes on mentally in that Muslim person. Or look, what I'm trying to say is this: the pigmentation and why they go for X is a visual exercise, but a factual, mental, social exercise is why would anybody, when they have the choices that they have, vote for Donald Trump? And it's just a thing of how humanity works. And the problems that we all have to try, those of us, I should say, in the know, and there's nothing wrong being within the know. My brother Harry that just called, love him to death. But let me give an example. And this is to you, Harry, and, you can destroy me an email if you want or anything like this, but I'm going to hit you up a bit now. Let's go right now. In Texas, we are between, it's a 49-44 race, if you believe the polls, which means it's within 4 points. And 4 points in a state like Texas, where we have a large non-voting population, that actually gives hope to any candidate that's at the bottom side of that poll, meaning Kamala could actually win Texas, right? Now, Harry just said, how can a black person vote for Donald Trump? But also Harry calls in here, and Harry, I'm playing with you. I love you, but I'm going to still hit you up on this one. Harry will come here and says, I am going to vote for the third party. And I have other folks that have hit me up about the third party issue as well. And they say, well, would you keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again? If Trump really represents the existential danger that many of us believe he is, if you are voting for a third party, you makes it easier for that existential danger to win, which means people don't like to hear it say that, well, if you vote for a third party, you're voting for Trump. The reality is that may not be what you're doing, but the ultimate result is that if your vote would have made a difference to not make that existential danger occur. So I have to honestly, I cannot give that person who's going to jump up there and that black person, that white woman, that Muslim person that goes out there and vote for Trump in as much as we think he's an existential danger, I cannot blame them any less than I blame the person who votes and give the potential, the possibility of Trump becoming a president if you think Trump is an existential danger. I cannot give you a pass I mean, I'll still, I have to find a way to communicate that for people to listen, but I can't give you a pass that says you are mentally any different than that person. Because again, the results of your act does the same thing. If I die from a car crash of a drunken person as well as a gun bullet, the results are the same. No, I don't drink, so, but you get my point. Anyhow, before I go any further, I need to ask folks, let me see if I got any more contribution. I changed screens here. I haven't gotten any more contributors other than those two. Folks, we need a whole lot more. Before I go to Patrick, Peter, and Donald, I need to get some calls in to contribute to the program. We give you value, folks. We give you value. And we are honest and tell you things that you won't hear on mainstream media by design. Welcome, Jolly. So please give us a call now at 713-526-5738, extension number 1 to donate. Please remember to tell them this is in the name of Politics Done Right. It doesn't come to me. It goes all to the studio. Or go to kpft.org. It only takes you a minute or a minute and a half. kpft.org and hit that donate button. Select that you're giving what you want to give. Make sure to select our program Politics Done Right as well. So please do that now, my brothers and my sisters. If you have never, ever, ever given to this program, there's a guy that called the other day. Actually, he didn't call. He emailed me and he said, I'm like, do it a first time. Say, if you want to get your foot wet, give whatever you can the very first time. Come in as a new supporter of the station via Politics Done Right. If you've never given before, but you've always listened and you love what we do here and you believe in our mission, do it this time. New person that's never given to Politics Done Right, never given to the station. Please do it now. 713-526-5738, extension number 1, or go to kpft.org. Say, you know what? I'm going to do it this time. $5 a month, a coffee a month. You don't feel it, but to us at KPFT, it's the world, because not only are the people matching your contribution, but also if we can get a whole lot of people giving $5 a month, that's what's called the collective. Together, pooling together, we can do a lot. And that's what we're asking for here at KPFT. 713-526-5738, extension number 1. Make a difference. Help us make a difference. Help us. We talk about Medicare. We talk about the elections. We talk about what's best for economic systems. We talk about political systems and how we can make a difference. We give you value. We feed the mind. And we also feed you musically and with we do a lot here, and all on a volunteer basis. Please give us a call, 713-526-5738, extension numero 1, extension number 1. Please do that now. I would love to see and thank a whole lot of you in the next few minutes. So if you can do that right now, that would make a difference. Let me go to Patrick. Patrick, come on in.
Hey, good morning. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, brother.
I called because Johnny was beating up on billionaires, and that's just an addiction to me. First off, I wanted to talk to Harry real fast. Harry, again, I respect and understand what you're doing, but I want to make sure that you do know what you're doing. I believe that we've discussed, or that you've shared with us, that you're a caregiver. I honor and respect that. That's my sister's a caregiver, and she's such a bigger person than I am. But if you're a caregiver, oftentimes you're relying on SSI, Social Security, to help the person that you're taking care of. And if you're voting third party, the way I see that, you're gambling that fund, that money, that help, that potential to continue caring for that person. So keep in mind, you're rolling the dice on something that is helping you help somebody else. I don't think that Social Security will be as safe as it would be under Harris as it would be under Trump. Less secure under Trump. But let me jump on the billionaire hate or just education, I should say. Johnny had some good numbers. I wanted to bring some more numbers out. If you take $1 a second, that's $60 a minute. If you take $60 a minute, that's $3,600 a month, or $3,600 an hour. I want you to keep that $3,600 an hour figure in your head. Now, if a billionaire at the time of conception, or a person at the time of conception starts earning a dollar a second without stopping, 24/7, 7 days a week, just past their 30th birthday, they'll become a billionaire. So that means $1 a second for over 30 years compiles to $1 billion. And now we said to hold on to that $3,600 figure in your mind. Last time I looked at the state of Texas, $45,000 a year was the median income, I believe. The median income of $45,000 a year, gross, not net, divides into monthly $3,600 a month. So to become a billionaire in 30 years, you have to absorb hourly what the median income makes in a month. That's too much money, and they can't spend it, and it gives them too much power. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Actually, everybody take out a pen and paper, write down L-curve. Look up L-curve on YouTube, especially you, Willie, because you're going to use this on your 3 o'clock. It's a 3-minute video. It'll put things in perspective. It's dated, but it's still very good.
Okay, what is that? What is that again? Tell me again.
L-curve. L-curve.
Oh, got you. L-curve. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. All right, let's go to line 1. Donald, come on in, my dear brother.
Hello?
You're hot, Donald. Yes, you're hot, Donald.
Oh, yes, sir. Okay, you're talking about billionaires. Well, let's talk about billionaires. How about this one, Egberto? Hey there, Egberto. Are you there?
I am here.
You're all alone. How about Bruce Springsteen? He didn't earn his money?
Bruce Springsteen earned his money. Absolutely earned his money. No doubt about it.
Exactly, because he beat the system, because he was well educated, and he knew how to get around them, and he kept his royalties.
Okay, now here, no. Let me correct that, though. Let me correct that, okay? Please, I love all these people that create things and earn and royalties. Remember, I said it was a defective economic system, and here's what I mean now, all right? What does Bruce Springsteen do? And again, I don't know what the limit of earning is, etc. There are many smarter people in math that can come out with what formulas are supposed to be. But one formula back then was to charge after you reach a certain amount of earnings, that the tax rate on that is 90%. And it's just a mathematical equation why that has to be done. Otherwise, you get the economic system allows money to accumulate. Let's give an example. What does Bruce Springsteen do for a living?
An entertainer.
Okay, but how is he able to entertain all those people?
Well, he generates using a band that's been with him for a very long time.
All right, pause there. I got to do a station ID. I need to do a station ID, and then I'm come right back to you. Stay there. This is KPFT 90.1 FM Houston. All right. Now here we go, Donald. I want to answer the question myself. Here's what I want to say. Bruce Springsteen plays an electric guitar that use amplifiers. He transmits his music through the airwaves, and he also uses a technology that was designed by people that got these knowledge bases from hundreds of thousands of years. Same thing with Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey became a talk show host that uses all this equipment that is able to transmit all this stuff over the internet, over the airwaves, etc. All those, she would not be a billionaire without the labor and intellect of all these people that create these mediums. She's an end user of things that was created that allowed her to be a billionaire, right? In other words, all these people created all these magical things. And then she comes and she says, I can use those magical things to spread my word. And for that, I collect most of the money. That's how the economic system works today. What I'm saying is that's a flawed economic system because the monies that is generated by that end user doesn't take into account all the others that created that stuff. So when people say 90% tax rate on my stuff, no, it's not that easy. It's that the educational system that created the amplifier for that electric guitar, the educational system that created that receiver that takes vibrating strings and convert it into sound. All those things you are getting for free because you go out and you buy a guitar one time. And that's what I'm saying. The way the economic system is designed, it is designed for a few to accumulate money, even though the many created the knowledge base to create the thing. Do you follow what I'm saying, Donald?
Okay, it's just like cryptocurrency and the mining of the apostrophe,
Exactly.
the noun,
There you
word,
go.
everything
Exactly.
else. And when it's used, they're going to try to tax you on it and try to reach the origin point of it. And whoever controls it, that's how cryptocurrency works in the mining game. And that's how they're going to charge us for everything, just like they tried to do with music, with the algorithm that comes up with all the patterns, and then you have to pay them to use that.
All right, Donald, we'll talk about this a little bit later because I'm running out of time now, and we need to raise some money.
Yes, sir, go ahead. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
You too, my brother. All right, folks, I still only have 2 contributors. I know a lot of you are going to wait till as soon as the show ends and just pile it on. But I want to ask you to do it now so that I'm not worried about, am I really going to make my quota? I have to make my quota or they're going to throw me off the radio, man. So we have to make our quota. Every program needs to make their quota. It's our responsibility. So I ask you kindly, give us a call, 713-526-5738, extension number 1 to donate, or go to kpft.org and donate, hit that donate button and make sure to point that it's for politics and right. And by the way, Eric says something that is very, very smart. He says, if you criticize third-party voters, I don't criticize them. I try to change, put some info in there. Then you should criticize the non-voter. And I'd like to do that with the non-voter as well. He's right. You can't be a non-voter and then complain when things are not right. So everybody should go out there and vote. You're absolutely right, Eric, on the chat. And I am Jolly. Welcome aboard as well. Okay, Brian, come on in real quickly, sir. Brian, line number 2.
Yeah, I'm on. I wish everybody would donate to the program or at least to the station. If I can, anybody else can too. So
thank you very much, Brian, for that. Anything you want to attack me about today, my brother?
Yeah, you wrote a book, correct?
Several,
or
yes.
Books, or whatever it was. Yeah, several. Did you plagiarize yourself 24 times in one book?
Probably.
Or cut and copy right out of Wikileaks?
Look, let me tell you, look, my book, I have hundreds of pages of book. And as you're writing a book, you do a lot of research, right? And there are times that you cut and paste from Wikipedia, or you cut and paste from a different website, and you're supposed to cite it, okay? Or you quote it. But every now and then, as you're let me finish. Look, can I finish my point, my dear brother? I let you finish yours, sir. And sometimes you'd put a quote in there and you'll forget to put the quotation in there. And it happens. It's nobody wants to go ahead and paste and copy from somebody else's book. Nobody wants to do that. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Your point is lost because she didn't quote. She just copied 24 quotes out of someone else's thoughts. Now, here's some real life numbers. If you tax all of the billionaires in the United States, it would run the government about a week.
That's not true. That's categorically false. And let me explain why it's let me tell you who gave you those numbers, Brian. Let me tell you who gave you those numbers. This is very important because you brought up a very important thing. You see what the government did, all right? What the private sector did to force the government to do is what they call income. All right. If that statement is only true for what we define as income. But if you define as income what income really is, which means the capital appreciation of all stocks in the market today, that would be a completely false statement. We could actually drop the income tax rate for everybody because most of the capital gains go to the top 1% of Americans. I'm sorry. Most of it goes to the top 20% of Americans, and the largest 80-something percent, I think, goes to the top 10%. So what you're saying is a falsehood. What they've Brian, hold on a second and listen. Listen intently, Brian. Numbers don't lie. Okay? Numbers don't lie.
Oh, they don't. What is capital gain?
Capital is money.
What you said about capital gains.
Yeah.
Capital gains is not money. It's a tax deferment. Do you understand that?
No, you're wrong completely, Brian. But I'm running out of time. But you're wrong. Capital gain is just another form of income. All right.
It's a statement.
It's just another form of income. I'm not asking. It's not a question, sir. Sir. Don't shout and wait for somebody else to talk. We have a civil conversation here. Brian, let me tell you a statement of fact. Capital gains is income like any other income. We decided to treat it differently for tax reasons. And anybody telling you otherwise is defining. So I got to go to Peter. Brian, but what I just said was a statement of fact, okay? Have a good day, Brian. We'll talk another day. Let's go, Peter. Come on in.
Good morning, Egberto, and thank you so much for another outstanding, exceptional radio program. And I did have a question for you, and then I'll give you what I think is my answer. But I have a question: why do you think these white people or men? Why do you think white men think they should vote for Donald Trump? And I'd love to hear your response, and then I'll give you why I think the white men vote for Donald Trump.
Let me tell you, I just find a lot. I stopped trying to put that on, let's say on the radio, that it's white men doing this, etc. Because if I can't be constructive, it's not because some things seem to be true, mean it's how it is. White men. Let's talk a little bit about white men. Howard and Jack and Howard, Jack and Sandy. Chill out for a second. Let me say what I'm going to say. Okay. Those are three white brothers in the station, right? It's not a lot of white men have told me that they feel that society is dogging them right now, and it's an identity issue because it has made them into the plutocrat. What I try to do to be constructive is as follows. All of us are fooled by those in power. And we have racialized society in such a manner because it's easy to divide us by white men, black men, Asian, all these other ways of setting things up. And in doing so, because the people who founded the country and the Western world are white, and specifically white men, a lot of the plutocrats we've reflected onto all white men. What I have tried to do in my dialogue, does white men have an advantage in the aggregate? Yes. And if you have an advantage in the aggregate, what Trump is telling you is, hey, do you want to lose an advantage that you have? And they're going to say, no, I don't want to lose that advantage. And everybody votes their interest. If the argument is that you're losing, you can't lose something you never had because those guys at the top never did care about you. You were just used as a pawn, like women are used as a pawn, like everybody else is used as a pawn. If you can get the discussion onto that frame to let everybody know that you're in the same boat, you can do something. But by just saying white men do this or white women do this or black men do this, or it foments that fight among people that they need to survive. I don't think I was super clear I don't have enough time to be super clear in my thing, but I'll do this on another day. But the effect, what I want to answer is this. As opposed to saying white men, white women, black men, black women, like, earlier Harry started about the black men issue. I'm trying to talk about us all being in the same boat. And those guys at the top are trying to split us up. Give me a quick 10 seconds, Peter, because I got to go to Johnny and then end this stuff.
So much. Yeah, so my response is, they're being used as pawns, and they're being played because it's a macho thing that they think Donald Trump is a tough guy. But I invite you to watch Dave.
Peter, I got to go to Johnny real quick for a minute, and then I got to do some pitching to beg for some more. Thank you, brother. And by the way, Peter is running for CD2, Congressional District 2. Good guy. Come on in, Johnny.
Real quickly, this is for Donald. Donald, you're a Bruce Springsteen fan. I'm a Beatles and Paul McCartney fan, and there's lots of young girls who can't afford the ticket price for Taylor Swift, but they go to the concerts because they've got parents with deep pockets. The missing element that you forget is the
okay, Johnny. Johnny, I got to go to Sandy. I got to get out of here. The entire show and videos are at politicsdoneright.com/newsletter that we didn't go over today because we love you and want you to be the one running the show. But anyway, my name is Egberto Willies. This is Politics Done Right, and you guys know how I end this baby. I am what?
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number 1, subscribe to our channel. And number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join. Welcome to Politics Done Right. I am your host, Egberto Willies. This is a progressive program that will take the mystery out of politics. This is the program that will encourage you to make sure government becomes we the people. Whether you are liberal, progressive, conservative, or otherwise, you get to air your point of view. We are an independent media outlet that, unlike mainstream media beholden to corporations, we only owe allegiance to you. Remember, you can also send me a tweet at EGBERTOWILLIES. That is at Egberto Willies. Let us engage. It is Politics Done Right. Welcome to Politics Done Right. I am your host, Egberto Willies. This is a progressive program that will take the mystery out of politics. This is the program that will encourage you to make sure government becomes we the people. Whether you are liberal, progressive, conservative,